Gilbert and Sullivan sort of live in the nexus between opera and musical theater, and in many ways we're the progenitors of the modern musical theater. They wrote Pirates of Penzance in 1879. It was right after their first enormous hit, HMS Pinafore, and it's always been, I think, their most popular operetta. I know this is an opera company, but I think it generally is thought of as an operetta because it sort of sits between a musical comedy and an opera in that it has a lot of spoken dialogue, but it also has very operatic music. We still love their work because it still speaks to us today. It's satirical, but in a gentle, poking way. The basic theme at the heart of any Gilbert and Sullivan operetta is to live your life the way you want to live it, and perhaps while respecting society's rules, we shouldn't be the slave of duty. And the subtitle of Pirates of Penzance is The Slave of Duty.
Tonight I quit these walls, for thought my soul abhors, but when stern duty calls, I must obey.
Arthur Sullivan was a very serious classical composer, and yet when he got together with Gilbert, he somehow came up with music that makes us just expand with joy. He also was great in what we now call, they didn't call it back then in the 1870s, we call hooks, which are those little pieces of music that sort of burrow into your brain and you find yourself humming the next day. Sullivan was very high on the hummability factor. And so when you're working on one of his operettas, you certainly find yourself thinking of the tunes all night long, and hopefully your audiences will be tortured by them for weeks after they see it.
I am the very model of a modern Major General. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quit the fights historical, from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical.
When I have had the chance to work on opera, it's been a deeply satisfying experience. The artists are so deeply, deeply trained, and their technique is at such a high level, and certainly the cast that they have gathered for this production. It's just a joy to work with people that are able to both produce that kind of sound, but at the same time be wonderful actors and wonderful collaborators in creating.